can you imagine that times in your life when you feel a sense of adventure and curiosity about something? That spark of adventure, we're hoping to bring into the sense of you as an adventure, you as the wondrous adventure, to be curious about what it is to really include your body and the body soul's capacity and gifts into your inquiry practice. We're born with a natural curiosity and wanting to know, wanting to explore, wanting to, as an infant, taste the dirt, play with your toes. That's inquiry. Inquiry is a discovery process. And in the diamond approach, there's a couple of things that are very specific to the diamond approach inquiry. One is we really hold it as a discovery process. We really hold it as an open-ended discovery process. There's an openness, there's an allowance. Yes, be curious about that. And the more allowing and really getting that it's your natural birth, I would say birthright, it's your natural soul's capacity or function or facet to be curious. Right? To be curious. It's often disciplined out of us. Right? So we want to reopen the curiosity and create a space for you to really know yourself in a deep way. When we use the word knowing here, we use it in a very embodied way. We don't mean just mental knowing. In the diamond approach, inquiry is not held as a mental process. The mind is included in a very good ally. Very good ally. The mind recognizes, names, but oftentimes the mind comes to a conclusion and closes the inquiry. In the diamond approach, we enjoy our conclusions. Oh, cool. You see that about XYZ. But then we go, well, from that conclusion, from there, and you look at your situation, what else is possible? What else are you feeling? As you feel what you're seeing and knowing, what's going on in your heart center? And to include the heart and the feelings in the heart as an integral part of being curious about who and what you are. And we include the belly center, meaning sensing. We have internal sensing into what you're curious about. So that life itself kind of becomes an adventure in embodied inquiry, that your whole orientation is an openness, a curiosity, an in-touchness, an immediacy as we understand the veils that limit our curiosity, limit our capacity to feel. I don't know anybody who recognizes their limit to feel, doesn't feel ambivalent about that, doesn't have a secret desire to feel more, to know more about themselves. So all of the whole inquiry process really is lining up with the dynamism of the soul maturing and knowing itself becomes an adventure. One of the challenges in entering the adventure embodied inquiry is that our body and our living consciousness, which from this perspective is inseparable, okay? and the reality that our true nature is really an immense field of pure awareness, beingness, openness, that the embodied inquiry can bring forth deep feelings and memories about why we are shut down, why our perception is limited, why our heart doesn't want to feel certain things. And we can often feel a tug of war, that's the expression, between I want to feel more, I want to feel the depth and richness of my heart is calling me to feel more, and all the reasons we limited our heart in natural protective ways. There's a deep wisdom in shutting down and limiting how much we perceive, limiting how much we are embodied as a wholeness. There's really deep reasons for it. To enter into the process of unwinding that does surface all the reasons why we originally closed down. And that's where the curiosity needs a big dash of loving kindness, compassion, no agenda, no pressure. Each soul has its own rhythm of coming to the truth of itself, its own rhythm of moving through the historical layers to open the space for your essential nature to really shine freely and to really know yourself more purely in the truth of who and what you are. One of the things that I really appreciate about the Diamond Approach perspective is how inclusive it is. It really is totally inclusive of the totality of my experience, the totality of your experience. And in that inclusiveness, what you might really begin to recognize that as you really engage yourself more fully in an embodied way, there is a kind of deep alchemy that happens. Something really begins to change. When we inquire in an embodied way, we really engage our historical sense of self, the tension patterns in us, and we really allow those tensions to open up and reveal and express and feel what's being held back in that tension pattern. Say, oftentimes anger held back in a tension pattern. And psychotherapies are really good at giving you space to reconnect with the anger and express it. Now, what I noticed working in the Diamond Approach, there is the layer of our work that does that, but we take it another step, meaning that as I'm feeling into the anger through an embodied inquiry, right, I can begin to notice that as the anger opens up, I'm not just feeling angry, I'm actually feeling more alive. I'm feeling more energy. That tension pattern has not just been holding back my anger, it's been holding back my aliveness, my sense of empowerment, my sense of I can do this. I'm a strong being. within the anger, what we've really learned in the diamond approach, that within each human emotion, given the opportunity of an embodied inquiry, an alchemy happens where the insight, the feeling with, the allowing, one can begin to recognize the inner nature of the anger. The inner nature. What's inside that? There's all kinds of history, but what's inside that? And in our work, we recognize there's a sense of strength that's independent of the anger. And many times when our strength isn't allowed, we get angry. That we start learning that there's a relationship between our human emotions and our inner spiritual nature in different facets. Now, one of the gifts of the diamond approach, and for myself, I've really experienced it as a gift, is that in our view that true nature is everything through and through. One of the doors that it really opens up is human life, physical life, as radically unseparate from true nature. And that unseparateness from true nature opens up a whole corrective in the West, which holds the body as separate from true nature, separate from spirit, separate from God. So one of the things, really, a really great gift of the diamond approach is from a spiritual view, from deep within the body itself. The diamond approach opens the door to truly knowing directly that the body is sacred. And that the sacred body is made of true nature, is made of love. Those are two very powerful inquiries. The body is sacred. The body is made of love. The body is included. The body is how true nature lives and talks, and loves and cries. So that first movement of this series, right, was to really open up that inquiry. What's it mean if I hold my body as sacred? What's it mean if I experience my body as love? And then the movement into the adventures of the embodied inquiry is to give you some tools to activate and engage the body as sacred. How to really engage that inquiry. How to open up to the possibility that the body is made of love, is love. Yeah? That inquiry takes a certain kind of willingness to develop certain skills of entering the embodied experience. And I'm hoping that this weekend gives you some inspiration and some of the tools to enter into the sacred body.